From Susie Cormack-Brice from Island Magazine and Martin Hunt from Tartan Silk PR. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Lovely to see you. Now, Susie, a certain ship is making its maiden voyage.
Well, yes, but it's maybe not quite the size of the ship that maybe the people who originally voted for its name thought it would be. This actually stems back from, you might remember, about a year ago, there was calls for the naming of a research ship. It was a £200 million research ship. And the name that the public came up with was
not
Boaty.
£200 million,
no, that's
is
not,
it?
That's not. But the name that they came up was Boaty Macboatface. But the feeling was that maybe that wasn't quite suitable for a kind of ship of that kind of size. And that then became called the Sir David Attenborough. Did that. But in the spirit of democracy, what they have now decided to do is name these little subs the Boaty Macboatface subs.
I think that's Boaty Macboatface suits that size and
I just think it's
shape,
great. I think
it?
it's really funny, and I think it shows so much of kind of like the British sense of humour, because everybody, when the name came up, everybody just voted for it, including myself, I have to admit, because Boaty Macboatface just did it for me.
I think we're all going to know about what this boat is going to do, or sub is going to do, and it is going to go and explore in Antarctica the Orkney Passage, which apparently is an abyssal, which is a bottomless ocean, of which it is the largest area on the planet. You know, so I mean, we're actually all going to follow it. I certainly am, and I found it absolutely fascinating.
Good PR stunt and quite a great name at the same time.
It's been a brilliant bit of PR. Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to move on to our next story, Martin, and rent is on the up in Edinburgh.
In Edinburgh, yes, thank goodness I don't have to rent. But there it's 726. Well, what I am going to say is that £726 per month is what people are having to pay for rent. That would go an awful long way to paying for a mortgage. And I think it is time that the banks got off their and started lending money to poor people that want to get onto the property ladder. I think it is absolutely disgusting that they are being stymied in getting onto that property ladder.
The thing is, that's not even poor people who are wanting, because anybody can afford £700 a month can most certainly probably afford a mortgage as well. And there is a case going through that somebody's actually trying to get heard through the courts, in which the money that you pay for your rent should be used when you make an application when you go for a mortgage, because at the moment that's not considered. So you could be paying a £500 rent for 20 years, and yet when you go to actually apply for a mortgage,
it doesn't go onto your credit status.
Doesn't go onto your credit status. So,
and I just think, you know, we've got to be actually looking at much more a broader spectrum.
We'll leave that there for just now. We'll chat to you later on the programme.
Thank you very much.
Now, something else.
Thank you.
Yes, lovely.
Enjoy. Let us
tuck in, guys. Go
very
for
much
it.
Indeed.
I'm hosting an event up in Dundee in a couple of weeks, actually, a fashion show, and I know where I'll be coming for dinner.
definitely.
Smell of this, it's lovely.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's so tender.
It is. It just falls apart as well.
There's something nice about foraging, though, isn't there? Really? You know, they get chanterelles and these wild garlic and things. It's absolutely delicious.
Very nice.
The crispy kale.
Winner.
Winner. Delicious. Right.
Very nice.
What we need to talk about is Princess Street Gardens. Martin, tell us about this.
Yes, I know. This is, well, the Ross Bandstand needs a major overhaul. It's falling down anyway. And there's plans are going ahead to make a new visitor centre and events area, which is good, I have to say. I'm not just quite sure. They haven't said what sort of visitor centre it is. And I think that is, you know, if it's going to be for tourist information, I actually don't think that that's the right position for it, I have to say, because if you're going to have a tourist centre, then it needs to be near Waverley Station or somewhere like that. But if it is something that is going to be for events, you know, exhibitions, that sort of thing, then I think probably it is good. And a lot of it is going to be underground, so it's actually, hopefully, going to fit into the environment of Princess Street quite well. But I hope it's not a vanity project, another vanity project.
It'd be nice to see it with a bit of TLC, really, because, I mean, if you look at things like the Kelvin Grove Bandstand...
And you know, that's exactly what I was going to say, and that's so successful when you have the summer sessions there. You know, you've got brilliant names coming, and it's been so well used.
Such a good atmosphere.
Absolutely.
I think it does need, look at it, it does need an overhaul, and I think if they make it architecturally inspiring and, you know, in a current design would be absolutely fantastic. So let's
give it a bit of love.
Let's not make it another vanity and Edinburgh.
Absolutely.
Now, Susie, it can be quite expensive for energy bills these days, but this woman in Greenock must have got an absolute shock when she opened up this This bill?
This is Mary Davison, and what she has one of these smart meters in her home, and the smart meters are basically there to tell you how much energy you're using. So she and her husband Jim have found that they tend to use about £5 a day. That's combined with their gas and electricity. But she looked at it and she found that basically she was using over £500 in 1 hour. And realised that there was something wrong. Apparently, it then ran up so much that she was being billed for £14 million on her gas bill. But the real funny thing is, she didn't have her gas on that day. She wasn't using her gas.
So the smart meter wasn't very smart then?
It wasn't very smart. Now, they're basically, her energy company is saying it was a software upgrade issue. There was a problem with that. But it kind of makes you think, well, how smart are these things?
Yeah.
If it's to basically help you with your energy consumption, and that's not telling you the right information.
And if you're using something like £500 or something like that, you know, would you notice that? But at 14 million, obviously, it's going to make you really sort of sit up and think. But I think that the energy company also need to be trained into communicating with their customers, because actually what they did is they responded to one tweet. Now that, I think, is appalling. For something that's a major mistake like that, they've got to pick up the phone and say, look, I'm terribly sorry, and they've got to communicate with their customers.
I hope she got the reward points before she refunded the money.
Absolutely.
A lot of money there. Guys,
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for dinner, Graham. Lovely.
Good to see you.
That's nearly all we've got.